Horus leads the Luna Wolves Legion against the orc-held planetoid of Goro. Joined by the Emperor himself, should they be victorious, their legend shall be remembered for all time. The Emperor is fighting a giant orc empire. Horus Lupercal responds to his call. This was during the Great Crusade, when the sons of Horus were still called the Luna Wolves. The orcs still had that fight in them, and the situation wasn't looking that great. But Sejanus still had a plan. When Abaddon, Tauric, and little Horus brooded, the plan? To trust Horus, of course. Horus joins his Mournival sons, and they discuss what their plan is. There is some banter here and there, and in the end, Horus reveals that they have more ships. Enter a golden ship. A ship carrying the Emperor. The Luna Wolves show their utmost respect to the Emperor. Sejanus is quite amazed to see the Emperor, starstruck at his glory. The Mournival, the Gestarian, and Horus walk to the Emperor, who was accompanied by the Adeptus Custodes. We get a touching moment between Horus and the Emperor, where Horus reminds him of the promise of conquering the stars. On the flagship of Horus, the Mournival gathers, and Sejanus convinces his brothers to do a ritual, to the disdain of Abaddon. "Who are we?" asked Sejanus. "We are the Luna Wolves," said the others. "Beyond that," said Sejanus, almost growling the words. "We are Mournival, bound together by the light of a moon," roared Sejanus, "sworn to a bond that only death will break. We kill for the living," shouted Ezekiel. "We kill for the dead," they cried in unison. Then each of them pointed their swords at the other's neck, forming a square. After that, they would draw oaths of censure, punishments if they failed their mission. Inspired by an old tradition and proposed by Sejanus as a reminder that they need to uphold the principles of the legions, the oaths would be wax sealed upon their armor in secret places. None had been read by now, and Sejanus hoped none would ever be. The Luna Wolves launched their attack without Horus. Horus remains with the Emperor, disappointed that he can't be with his sons. But the Emperor brings Horus, his Terminator guard, and some custodians to a teleporter. Next they found themselves in the heart of the Orc Empire. Horus' previous suspicions of a Techo ruling class were confirmed. The battle has begun. Ezekiel would get wounded, but when Horus pointed that out, he mentioned that the Orcs would have to kill him to get him to leave his Primarch's side, as would Horus for the Emperor. Horus nodded. He did not want to insult the pride of his first captain. The scrap world they were on started to fall apart. Horus yelled for his father, who was surrounded by orcs. The Emperor turned to his son and outstretched the hand before getting eaten whole by the world. Sejanus and his men would land of the scrap plant of the Orc Empire, Goro. They didn't know where they were, but orcs came to them, and another fight began. Orcs would die by the number, but they would have ironclad armor warriors to help them fight the Space Marines. Eventually the Luna Wolves would win, and as they moved forward, they would see Horus falling through the world. Horus fell and kept doing so, surviving hits that would have killed a normal Space Marine. He would see his father fight orcs, one so big that it made the Emperor look tiny in comparison. He could not win alone, but he wasn't alone. Sejanus and his remaining men would fight their way to the Emperor. Lupercal would appear soon, as they were close to reaching him. The Emperor almost got killed, but Horus would save him by turning one of his hands toward the blazing core of the dying world. This left the orc armless, and while he was surprised at that, the Emperor used that moment to kill the orc. Horus saw the Emperor as a god and kneeled in front of him. Sejanus would scream the name of Lupercal while getting closer to his father. The core would implode, but the Emperor would use his powers to send it to the ether. This wouldn't last long, he said to Horus when he asked what he had done. Because when the Emperor sent the core away, he showed Horus his true powers. He showed him the Imperium and the Neverborn. On Horus' flagship, he would talk with the Emperor about how the orcs are an ever-growing cancer, and that there is one place that they must strike to defeat the orcs. To strike at Ullanor.